Alright, so opening weekend dove hunting report. It's Labor Day weekend, which usually is about the start of dove season here in Texas. It started on Thursday, which is the first. Didn't get to hunt Thursday, unfortunately. I worked a half day Friday and then came out here Friday night. Friday night we sat by some ponds, which normally it's a pretty good spot. They come into the water at the end of the day. But just, it was, I don't know. Well, it's the first day of the dove hunting trip. Been sitting out here afternoon and I've seen a couple fly over the pond, kind of out this direction. Nothing even close to within range of shooting at, so pretty slow day. Hopefully it'll get better later tonight or tomorrow. Well, I got a shot at least. A shot and I missed. Two birds flying together, just like those last two were. So my decision to move was a good one. I just got to hit what I'm aiming at. On those last birds, I think I just got a little bit excited and didn't put enough lead on them. They were moving at a decent speed, so I should have added just a little bit more lead out in front of them. I think I just got a little bit excited because it's the only shot I've had all day. I don't know really what it was. I think there's not a lot of food in the area we're hunting. We saw a couple birds, but really not much. I only got a few shots, probably, I don't know, 5 shots, and they were kind of long shots. The shots that normally you probably wouldn't take, but when they're the only birds you see, you're tempted to just take them anyway, and I did. So I actually didn't get anything. A couple of the other guys hunting with me each got a bird, but it was incredibly slow, almost nothing. So that was the first spot, so I'm just gonna call that spot A. Then the next day we went to another spot that was a little bit different. So we hunted there morning and evening. It's adjacent to a cornfield, and it's pretty much just pasture land. It's got a little creek running through it, and then it's got some kind of remnants of sunflowers. There's no real crop planted here, just some remnants of stuff that's been there previously. So most of the birds were kind of diving in and out of the cornfield over to the east of us. And that morning we saw a whole lot of birds, and we had an east wind, which is really weird, but it worked well to our advantage. It was kind of almost blowing the birds out of the cornfield over towards us. So I think I got 8 that first morning. I think a couple other people got 3 or 4 each. So it was alright, definitely alright. And then that evening, it was kind of slow for quite a while, but then we got a rush right at sunset, which is pretty common. A lot of times it's so hot down here that the birds kind of bide their time, and then we'll move kind of right before sunset or right after dawn, when it's still nice and cool, and it's harder to see them, harder to pick them off. So we kind of had a late rush, and I got 7 birds there, so that was 14 total for the day. The daily limit is 15, so I was 1 bird shy of my daily limit, which actually there were a couple birds that I had shot but couldn't find, which always sucks. I mean, you kind of hold out on seeing birds, then it's exciting when you see them, it's exciting when you get to shoot them, it's exciting when you know you hit them, but it's really frustrating when you can't find them. So I always really try to look for them, because ultimately it's just a waste. But sometimes, you know, when the grass is really tall, or you're kind of in a grain field or something like that, you're just never gonna find them. You could look for hours and hours, and it's just really hard to find them. So it happens, but I was 1 shy on my limit, but it was a pretty good day. And then the next day, we actually went home that night, kind of restocked on stuff. Some people hunted those first days, and then we came back up with some different guests the next couple days. And then last night, we hunted just the evening, and we went back to spot A, that first spot with the ponds, and hardly saw a thing. I shot 1 bird right at sunset, so very end of legal shooting hours, and again it fell in this field of almost chest high, waist high plants, and I just had no hope of finding it, which sucks. I thought I was gonna be able to find it, but basically the way he went down, didn't find him, and nobody else got a bird that night. So that spot is just kind of done for this season. We're not really seeing anything there. Tonight, it started off slow. We kind of went back to that other spot that I was telling you about across from the cornfield. Started slow, but we've been seeing them just kind of in 2s and 3s. No big flocks or anything like that, just kind of trickling in, and they're mostly going over to that cornfield just like they were the other day. But we've got a really strong wind out of the south behind me here. So that's definitely affected kind of the way they're moving. So I've got 2 in the bag right now. I think one other guy has 2 in the bag and another guy has 1 in the bag, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. But they're trickling in here, but we've still got about another hour left of hunting. So if they do that late rush again, looks like we might actually finish up all right. So far this season, nothing great, but not miserable either. That other place was pretty miserable, but now that we've kind of found what's working and what's not, I think we've got an idea of how to make this season work. So hopefully more dove hunting in the future. Stay tuned.